Hi guys, so welcome to another series in our introduction to Python, specifically for data science. And we have been learning a bit, some introductions to sets. And so now what we are going to do is that we're going to run some set operations. Right, you can see in the bold write-ups here that we have union, intersection, and difference. Again, it is worthy of note that these are arithmetic slash mathematical operations too, but these operations are most commonly used when working with sets and can be used in Python. Now, the first thing we're going to do in order to, look at what union does is to first create two sets, right? So I'm going to create a first set. I'm going to call this set name underscore persons. Then of course I'm going to use a curly braces and I'm going to put a bunch of names inside there. All right, I think that will do. Now the next I'm going to say name no age underscore persons. So I'm going to now right. So that is what I have now. So I have myself two sets, right? Just to be sure, we check this out here, and so we have that. We have two sets. Now I'm going to basically, just show an example how I could take two sets and then make them one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call the first set. So here, I'm going to use the union. Let me call it the union operator, or rather slash method. So simple stuff. First, names underscore person, dot notation, union, and inside here I'm basically going to put age underscore persons. And so what that means is we would put this and look at what happens. Right, you can see both of them into, as usual, unordered. You can see they're not ordered, right? So with that, you can see what that happens, right? Now, you can see that happened, and if we go back to name underscore persons, what would you think? You would think that that would update, right? No, it didn't. If you really want this to be a new set, you would have to put it inside a variable. So we can call this new underscore set. Where here, and then we have a new set. So this is what we have here. So which is a mixture of both, if I have to say, which is an addition of both. So this basically using a union to create a brand new set, sort of like update, but creating a brand new set. Now, what we want to do here is we want to look at a situation where we use intersection. Now, let me put this here. Let me write use intersection. Now, what does intersection do? Now, when you call the intersection, it will return a set that literally, shaves off like the difference. It looks at the similarity and brings it out. So again, let me walk up over here and update this. So say here I add this. I add say 41 and I add 26. And over here I add this name, Sally Sue, and I add Tommy here, right? Does that work? It does. So that means when we come down here, you will see that our name persons and you will see our age of persons has this. Now with an intersection, I can now call this new underscore intersect. Is that a cool way to put it? Yes, that's a cool way. Right, then inside I'm going to call that first one, which is name underscore persons. As usual, use the dot notation and then we use intersection. Right, and with that I now add the next one, which is the age of persons inside. So now we have that in here, and so let's see what our new intersect has. So basically what it did was it took out, the common denominator here, which is Sally Sue, Tommy, 26 and 41. So that's what the intersection does. Right. Then finally, we are going to look at difference. Let me add a few cells here. We're going to call this, we're going to use difference. Right, we're going to use difference. Now, for that, we are going to call on both of them. We're going to call on the first one we have and see what difference returns. Basically, the difference method will return a new set with the elements in the first set that are not in the second set. So first we have name persons, see that, and of course we have age persons. Now once we use difference here, so we have name persons. So first, let's just, okay, hold on, dot difference and open, and inside we now have age persons. So here we're just going to call this new underscore diff, just, to put it in context. And so with that, we now have new underscore diff. And what do we have? We have Joy and Pablo. So basically the difference will return a new set with the elements in the sets that are not in the other one. So you see what this does, right? So that's basically some introduction to the operations that you would use for sets. A brief recap. Well, we've looked at the union, intersection, and difference. We created 2 sets and we used them to showcase what you would normally do with sets. Of course, from membership testing to, eliminating recurring variables or values, and all, but now we see the fact that we can add data together, or we can merge data together, so to speak. We can look at data and extract the data that is a common denominator in two different data sources, and finally we can find the difference or the elements that are not in one set but are in another set, right? So that is it. So again, take your time and watch this video. You can watch it over and over again, and then you get to see it, and at the same time you think about the use cases, because the idea is for us to eventually start analyzing data, because we're going to get to a point where we would now be showcasing the use cases of all these side by side. Like, subscribe, share with friends and enemies.